And you're good.
Alrighty. Welcome back to the Call of the Hunger. Last time we left off, Sarah wasn't. Why did. Oh my gosh. Sarah wasn't making me. Okay, there we go. Ha ha ha. Last time we left off, I wasn't hearing double. Alright. And the party, you had just arrived back toward Lemoore. As you had approached, you had seen that things weren't as you left them. No, unfortunately, calamity had struck the city of Lemoore. Apparently, some building had fallen apart in some sort of research experiment gone wrong, and a plume of poisonous gas and caustic acid poured out, dumping into the streets, destroying buildings and killing people. The aftermath made it so a large portion of the city actually evacuated into the neighboring rural area. And some of you had come to deliberate whether or not this was of any relation to you and your previous escapades dealing with A and B Corp, and having come across someone who presumably was the spawn of some local dragon. One that had been only mentioned from in the shadows. Yet, using Wallaby's context, you guys had heard, you managed to get a name, Grimnod. Apparently some sort of entity that may have cowed many of the corporations in Lemoore historically. So you saw some of the fallout of that. And as you approach the city, you see that the harvest is quickly being pulled in certain areas to, one, feed people, but two, keep people from stealing it anyways. Mercenaries have been hired, or guards have been hired to help watch some of Bushman farms, while others are going out of their way to kind of shirk their duties towards the corporation to help their kin, and really ply the familial bonds that this area has. You stayed with Jonah Norman, one of the local farmers, and you saw that his land was already stripped. In fact, it was pretty waterlogged too. As you guys got closer, you can see that the rivers that run to or that run from Lemoore are pretty swollen as of right now as well. You approach. So as you approach, you see Izuba, the blue moon, lighting your way, and there's a general hum of excitement from folks as soon Urun and Olrun will be visible as well. You are just getting toward the end of the night fade, the perpetual night that you've been in for a whole twillet. It is 2 days before the next twillet day, and that is the due date of you basically rendezvousing back with Romaniel and entering the slag grinder and challenging some creature, a changed, known as the Harrow, who is a model in combat that had been kind of toted around as like the Cadillac of these changed beings made by A and B Corp, the folks that you guys had raided to save while in Buckham a while back. There's no determining what your status is with the city as of now, but you left in a hurry knowing that people were after you, as your presence was noted by A and B Corp. And the harvesters, which are like the local police, but they pretty much exclusively work for the corporations, were after you. You attempted to go to Vivigeni to get aid, and he's like, "You did what? You're bringing what to my doorstep? Hold the phone. I can't shelter you from the corporations, okay?" And so him being still your friend, but not willing to like have whole SWAT teams chasing you into his territory. He had other people at stake. The last time you guys had talked, he was he had a lot at stake with what was going on with Archek, which you guys have managed to determine, and that's what you left off with him. So definitely an ally in the area, but someone with which he's got vested interest in your antics in the woodlands recently. As you approach the city, I'll say that you guys are not quite yet at the city gates, but you can kind of see the crest of, or the arching span of the city walls heading towards the mountainsides on both sides, and you see the predominant entryway towards the city. The gates opened up with carts laden with supplies coming to and fro. As you guys approach, is there anything that you want to do? And I'll pull up the city real quick just so you guys get a general layout.
I'm so zoomed in.
So I imagine that you guys are kind of over by that central gate, sorry, on that far left gate over here. You can see that ping. But you guys can just tell me where you're approaching from.
I'm okay with approaching that gate, and if we need to pay guards off to get us through doing that. I know there's a few other ways into the city, though, if we're worried about that.
We should approach from here.
Is there a potentially stupid reason we shouldn't be going in and out through that tunnel we had with the manticore?
Yeah, so you fought the Manicore and used the smokestack to get access to the ways. The ways being the complex network of tunnels underneath the city created by the hive of Tekeknu that live inside the city. You would need to find that entrance again. As you guys are approaching, so this here is the main mercantile gate where most visitors and stuff like that come in. This is the most normal-ish part of the city. This one over here is the one where a lot of freight comes in, so carts and stuff like that laden with supplies. This is the most popular dock over here as well, and then this one over here is in use when they flooded the main channels in the city. And you can see right now that that's actually happened recently. In fact, there's boats docked here. Small ones, small little fishing vessels and whatnot. When you last left, you left by a hole in the ground over here. So you can go and you can investigate, see if you can find your way back through the ways. Just note that that is, in of itself, the ways is like the wild territory. The gangs think that it's kind of like rule of the strongest, so to speak. It's difficult to navigate, etc. But obviously, just running through the main gates has its own hazards associated with it. Going a little bit further along town over here, this is an old gate that has actually been decommissioned a long time ago. That used to run to the Sovereign Die, which is the original mint for the nation. So and then behind that there's a whole graveyard. So there's stuff to explore if you guys want to kind of think outside the box. But I'll leave it to you to tell me what your kind of plan is.
But you said over here by like the Sovereign Die and number 9 and stuff. That's where the spill is, isn't it?
Yeah, so number 14 is the spill. And what happened is that, so as you look at the city here, it gets higher up in elevation the further towards the top of the map you go. So what happens is that the spill trashed some towers and stuff like that up into the mountains, and it caused the spill that kind of cascaded. Let me see if I can just do this real quick. It kind of cascaded down like this, so to speak. So the damage itself, you guys aren't in the city. You're not necessarily too familiar with what happened, but you had a conversation enough to understand that basic notion. But yeah.
Okay.
All right. So as usual, Bull doesn't have any input because he doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Feel free to
He's just along for the ride.
Feel free to add input if you have any, Andrew, as a player. But yeah.
I mean, either vote for the way he original pinged or sewers.
Sewer rat. Sewer.
Yeah.
Figures a rat would want to be in the sewers.
Always.
Yeah, I mean, the sewers are an option, but we'd have to find our way again, which is time consuming.
Make
And
Wallaby do something for once. Let's go get his ass.
We have to go all the way back for him.
yeah, Wallaby.
He's traveling deeper into the northern woods.
We can bring him back. Send a carrier pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
I spend a story point.
Could invent the telephone.
Mm-hmm.
To make Wallaby be silently behind us.
Yeah. Appears through the mist of drunkenness.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the sewers run the risk of the gangs again.
And heights.
And if there was a spill, I assume some of it would have ended up in the sewers.
A lot of it's going to be in the sewers. I doubt that A and B Corp, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, A and B Corp. I doubt that they did much cleanup.
The other thing that you see as you approach the city is a giant zephyr in the sky,
Oh yeah.
hovering above the city.
Throw my axe at it.
Is this a generic superhero skybeam situation?
No, a Zephyr's a balloon.
I thought a Zephyr was a rotating clown.
There is what appears to be a whale made of fabric floating in the sky with some sort of weird mechanical housing strapped to the bottom of it.
Okay.
Ropes have descended from the small building that is attached to the bottom of the fabric whale and are tethered to the mercantile district area.
Did you say a Zephyr?
Yes.
A Zephyr is a breeze from the west.
Oh.
Oh,
Zeppelin.
you mean a Zeppelin?
Zeppelin. Thank
Zeppelin.
you.
I am justified in my confusion.
You're
All
right.
right. There's a Zeppelin. Got it. All right. Very
Any
different.
of various lightweight fabrics and articles of clothing. I don't know. Maybe if you squint.
There appears to be a massive zeppelin made of lead in the sky.
Gotcha.
You see a bandit,
And there's a stairway.
Oh boy.
an electric guitar. Sorry, anyways.
Oh. So leaning towards front door. Then?
All right, but if we get killed, that's fine. But I'm the only one who suggested maybe we don't just walk in here.
It's fair.
Okay.
I got a
It's
great
been years. They don't
ability.
remember us.
Which of the two doors do you approach? The mercantile district or the warehousing district?
I feel like there'd be less inspections at the warehouse than the mercantile.
Maybe?
I mean, either way, we're putting ourselves at a pretty huge risk here. So I like the idea of a warehouse district, a little bit closer to our goal.
Alright.
Okay. As you walk in, I'm assuming you guys would like to roll cool to look as nonchalant as possible.
Quick question. I don't mean to you know what? No, I can say it as Emery. Do you still are you wearing your headdress?
Me?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do the feathers still work with the whole make you disappear bit?
They do for me. I don't know if they work for other people.
Just keep yeeting the helmet backwards to other people. Quick, attune to it.
Yeah.
Come to find out, it'll only cover somebody that's like up to 6'6", so
It's mere
Paul's
ball.
hooves are still visible.
Funny. Okay, if you could all give me a cool check. Are you going to be using your helmet? Your headpiece at all?
I think I should.
Okay. I believe that just makes you go invisible for a certain amount of time.
Yep. One Tengu headdress with now 14 charges of glamour / invisibility.
Okay.
Did we have a good night's rest last night?
I think so.
Yeah. So I'll say you guys all get a. You were at a farm, so you had a good night's rest. Screw it, you can get a boost die all day. That's fine. Does your glamour thing have a specific mechanic to it? It should have something on there written down.
Not that I wrote down. I just wrote down that it was glamour / invisibility and the number of charges.
1 second. You have 15 charges until recharge. Each charge is 10 minutes. Adds a yellow die to stealth. Hey, I'll just copy and paste this into the thing. Into the chat. There you go. Each charge lasts 10 minutes. Adds a yellow die to stealth and 1 die to your defense. If detected, you must rehide before using. Being wet or hitting something causes it to discharge. So if you sneak up and stab something, it'll discharge. Alright. Yeah, I'll allow it to be used, so you can go ahead and add a yellow die to your check. And everyone can start giving me their results. Emery.
1-0.
0.
3-0.
Okay.
3 and 1.
Ilya?
2 and 3.
So one thing that you guys notice is there are a lot of carts coming through this area, and it seems that mostly just carts are being stopped. Up ahead, you do see that there is one peculiarity, and that is that there is a cage with a man inside of it hanging before the gates. And as you guys pass underneath the gates, he's this large. He's this. What probably would have been a large guy a while back, but he's shriveled up quite a bit over some period of time, and he's got hair that just comes down in scraggly, grayish, bleached out strands, and a beard to match. No beard to match, actually. He's got a mustache to match. And he goes, as Wretch walks by, he kind of lurches at the cage and, no! And shakes the cage. And Wretch, he sees you, and what you notice of him is that he's missing his entire bottom jaw. It's looks as if it's been long healed. Like it's not bleeding down his chest or anything like that. And there is a string hanging from the cage, and at the bottom of it is a chalkboard that is kind of just like, with his motions, it has rocked and is turned around a bit.
All right, I'll turn the chalkboard and look at it.
On the chalkboard, what you see is my notes.
All of them?
All of my notes. Where are we?
Well, shit.
We are here. Okay, there we go.
You guys ready for a speed run?
Here we go. There is what appears to be some sort of chicken scratch, childlike chicken scratch on it. But you can crudely identify what appears to be some sort of like stick figure. Actually, can you give me a roll? Can you give me a knowledge people check? You could otherwise use streetwise or investigation.
I'll do knowledge people.
Okay.
To see if he recognizes stick people.
To see if you can interpret this like drawing.
A triumph, 1 success, 3 advantage.
A triumph. Wow. Okay. So looking at it, you can see what appears to be like a little horse, and it looks like there's like a piece of hay almost. Maybe it's wheat actually, over what was probably like a cart or something like that. And he appears to have tried to circle and cross it out at some point. There was it. You look up at him and you look at it into his eyes with your triumph here. He doesn't seem. You get the impression that so actually one of the guards walks over to you and goes, "Hey, they're working him up. He hasn't been worked up like that for a while now. Don't mind him. He's caught for stealing grain." And you look at the thing again, and as the guard's talking, he mentions that this guy attacked the driver of one of these grain carts. Daniel gave him a throttling. I don't think that Bilchester carriage driver will be the same.
It's a shame. I'll just leave it alone then and carry on with the group.
The name Bilchester had come up one time before for you guys, and as you were walking in through the gates, someone had mentioned that the Bilchester food one of the guards rejected one of the carriages of food or wagons of food from them, saying that it was spoiled. But given how many people succeeded passing through the gates, the guard kind of just chalks up the situation to just the dealings with this crazy man in this cage, and he turns around and goes back to checking carriages and wagons.
All right.
As you guys as you guys finally step into the city streets, that the smell of the city hits you once more. The fog of it, the acrid tingling on your skin. It's definitely not as fun as being out in the fresh air and in the woodlands. There's some sort of feeling to it, but there's a heat too. The heat of civilization, the ruckus and noise of the clamor of people, all moving in synchronicity to build a world of convenience. Before you stands a great warehouse off to your left, and several garage-type structures to your right. That above them seems to be built small hovels and homes of modest size. This is a nicer district than the Styx and the Slurry, but definitely not as nice as the Market District or anywhere else that's built up into the mountains. Having passed the guards, where would you guys like to go next?
We got a rendezvous with Ramiel at some point. I also need armor. And
I've also got some crits I'd like to possibly get healed.
yeah, me too.
I am over half dead.
I wasn't asking you.
I was saying that maybe we could go to some form of house of healing.
Yeah.
Well, preferably one that doesn't take your limbs and try and replace them.
So not ammo?
Right. See, you're half dead now, but you could be half cyborg.
That's kind of this town's MO.
Yeah. Robo Rat? Yeah.
Well, I mean, with his armor, he's almost cyborg.
Yeah, what if you
Yeah,
never had
that'll-
to take your armor off?
That'll keep them off me.
Do you have a helmet?
No.
Are you guys going to split the party at all and go to different places, or are you guys going to stick together?
I mean, we theoretically have a couple days, right? Like 2 days before our deadline.
2 days
Is
till
that what
your
you said?
deadline. Yep.
Okay. I would prefer to maybe stick together then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should stick together and go do things one by one.
We need healing.
Is that where you're
And the
going to go next?
The deadline is for the arena fight we have to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could do shop first, healing second, and then just heal up until the fight thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
We're
I
already,
need-
well, wait, we went in through the warehouse. Yeah, it'd be a walk to the market district. So maybe finding somewhere to heal and establish a base of operations where you won't get actively arrested might be good.
So an inn of some sort
A CD
or something. A seedy inn. Ooh.
I don't know where you
Does
or whatever.
Does Wretch know where we could get healing? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you guys do a streetwise check once you just tell me, kind of roughly speaking, what you want to do, and I'll give you options based off of your check.
So it sounds like healing is the first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
We need to get healing, and I need armor.
All right, go ahead and give me a streetwise check or knowledge, people.
Wow.
Everybody? Or...
Yeah.
Somehow Tyrus knows this town.
However, I will average the checks of everyone who participates. So, because it basically, like, for streetwise, it would be like someone's trying to, like, oh, what's down this street, you know? And you're like, well, hold on, I thought I was gonna, and it's just kind of corralling everyone. So.
1 and 1.
Okay.
Is it streetwise or knowledge people? Sorry.
3 and 1 for bull.
Damn.
2, 3.
Okay.
3-2.
3-2. Okay. Based off of you guys' high rolls, you have a couple of options. One is that there is a rather reputable place of healing called Brother Olog's Institute of Medicine. It is like the place to go for healing. That being said, you do know that this city is the capital of biomancy, where people go to have all sorts of different crazy, wild medical experiments done to them, right? And as a byproduct of that, there are a lot of people who know basic healing. In fact, there are so many that you need to watch out for hacks, essentially. People who are not through ammo or A and B, who are basically advertising that they can do whatever they want. Sorry, advertising that they can get you what you need. Because which ones of you rolled streetwise?
I did.
Okay, but so because of your ability.
Oh, I don't know if you could see it or not, Josh, but I was also raising my hand.
Yep. Because of Ilya's ability to navigate the streets and kind of tell a truth from a lie and kind of dance with words, and because of Bull's ability to intimidate the hacks out of the way, so to speak, you guys come across a character that could get you healing. 1 second. Why is this not bolded? Oh, there it is. And his name is Bobbit the Back Alley Biomancer.
And he's legit.
And he's legit. Yeah, he's legit. He's just not associated with any of the guilds. Sorry, any of the corporations. In fact, I had a little picture of Bobbit before.
Yeah. If he wasn't legit, he wouldn't call himself that, you know. He would have been named something more reputable, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like instead of Biomancer, it'd be Butcher or something.
Okay. So this is
Dr.
Bobbit.
Bob the Butcher.
This is Bobbit the Back Alley Biomancer.
You stab him, we'll slab him.
Goody.
So you guys can either go to Bobbit or you guys can go to Brother Olog's Institute of Medicine.
I want to go to Bobbit.
All right.
I feel like that's probably all we can afford.
As long as my sword arm's good by the end of it.
Just as long as I get some of my wound threshold back.
Yeah, that's fair.
Aye, so it looks like you're in a bit of a need of healing. I noticed a few of your eyes aren't. He kind of pats Bull on the side of the head, and you feel like your eyes like kind of straightens back a little ajar. And you over here. He kind of leans down towards Wretch. Yes, your humors. They could use a little jazzing up. Well, if you wouldn't mind following me to my esteemed workshop, I can get started. And so with that, he takes you back. Now, here's a couple of options that you have. He can ostensibly, he can basically give you guys healing and try to fix you up what he can right here in this immediate moment. Or you guys can actually like spend some time here, like days, and he can just guaranteed clear your crits, clear all your damage, so to speak.
So when you say days,
you can choose to stay here for 5 days and have all of your crits removed for 1 gold each. Sorry, that's one for 1 gold each, and that would heal you all of your damage as well. Otherwise, basically he's going to roll to see how much damage he can clear off of you. And that is by doing that, it's going to be essentially 50 silver, and he's going to roll to see how much he heals off of you.
So I don't need any healing, but if I wanted him to attempt like one crit, is that something he could do?
Yeah, he could do that. It'd just be 50 silver per crit.
So we got here by our deadline. Do we just want to spend 5 days here instead?
I mean, he could also heal you a little bit of damage. You guys could leave, go do whatever you want to do, and once you're secure, feel more comfortable taking 5 days, he can sit you down in his back rooms, and you guys can just take some time and get some TLC. Comes with room service.
Well, we have to kill what's his face in the next 2 days, don't we?
Correct.
So what we could do is get crits or whatever taken care of, like the big ones, go do the fight, and then after the fight, come back and get everything else taken care of.
So the only thing is that the 5-day thing is guaranteed the crits will go away, but the other item of him trying to heal you immediately, it's a chance of failure. He has to roll to see if he can heal your crit, and if he fails, you're stuck with your crit for a week.
I'm personally okay with doing that option for myself, but I might be the least hurt. So
yeah, I just want to try and get rid of my crit of 44, so I get some of my wound threshold back.
I need just some healing because I'm entering a fight right now with 10 out of 19 wounds. So if we get surprise attacked, I might just go out.
well, is it all of us, or I thought or was it a one-on-one thing for the Slight Grinder?
I think it's supposed to be a one-on-one for the Harrow.
Yeah, so the Slag Grinder has a whole bunch of different things with it. He wants the Harrow dead. You need to go and investigate how to get that done.
Okay.
As far as the healing goes, do we have to decide as a party, or is it
to be beaten, not necessarily dead?
Okay.
And then as far as the healing goes, is it one choice for all, or everybody gets to choose what they want to do?
Everyone can choose whatever they want.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll just try to get him to heal some wounds.
Yeah, I need to have my crit of 67 and 40. Well, I guess I could just have him heal my crit.
Don't worry, boys. It's on me.
50 silver for each procedure. We'll start with Wretch. 50 silver. He's going to attempt to heal you.
Okay.
I'll get everybody's healing. Thanks for helping me with my brother.
You heal 8 because he rolled a triumph.
Yay!
Okay. Next.
I need my crit of 67.
67. 50 silver, and he passes. As he resutures the inside of your arm where you just barely missed an artery. Next.
I just suddenly feel alive. Yeah, I'm gonna give him another 50 silver to get rid of my crit of 40.
Okay, crit of 40 is a difficulty easy. Okay. So he heals your crit of 40. Do you have any damage or any other crits on you?
Yes.
What else do you have on you?
Crit of 17.
A crit of 17. Okay, with his triumph, he heals that one as well.
Oh. Thank you, sir.
Well, of course. It's so hard for someone like Bobbit, an entrepreneur, to have to compete with the likes of A&P. When you choose Bobbit, you choose the small guy. Good. Granted, my stature isn't as small as some of those else in this room, but I like to think of myself as someone who's looking out for you, and I appreciate your time.
Well, you haven't added anything extra that I didn't ask for, and you're not trying to kill me, so you're already doing better than A&B Corp. So I appreciate that.
Customer service is second only to the safety of our clients. Anyone
I'm
else?
just gonna stare. I'm just gonna stare at the wall.
So Bull just kind of like walks up and grunts and like points to a laceration, like a deep laceration on his shoulder.
Oh, yes. The striations in the muscle are riveting. My apologies. You probably don't want my fingers in there as of yet. I'm assuming you'd like this taken care of. Is that correct, sir? Well, by all means, sit down. What's the difficulty of the crit?
It's a 44.
Okay. Do you have any other crits on you? Or any other damage?
I have a crit of 1 and a crit of 24.
He rolled another freaking triumph. He's got 3 yellow dice, and he's rolled a triumph every time. Yeah, he's going to cure both of them at the time. And you see him like he uses his fingers and like pulls the meats together with his big old claw pieces, and then you feel a needle go down through the healthy flesh, and you feel yourself get stapled from the inside out as he pulls his metal fingers back.
So I had no damage on me, and now that he upped my threshold by 6,
You still
now I have 6 damage?
no damage on you still.
Okay.
I just would like I have a crit and I have 7 wounds. So I think I want my damage healed.
Okay.
I paid for 1 round of everybody's thing. The 1. Unless, Bull, you need more than that because you have no money.
We all got all of our crits taken care of in 1 round because he keeps rolling triumphs.
Sure.
Pretty much. Well, someone else, I think Ilya had
Ilya
2
two.
rounds.
Yeah.
So,
Do right.
he heals you 5.
Okay. Thank you. And, I don't suppose... Have you heard anything as far as if the slag grinder's still up and running? I know it was kind of in that...
Yes, slag grinder. I get a lot of my customers from the slag grinder. The thing is that, as of right now, the slag grinder is flooded. But don't you worry. I hear that they are moving out into the field, just outside of the city walls. They're setting up big affair after all. Blasio Exanter is in town. And
Name going around.
people need a distraction.
Fair enough. Which way? Like, which gate would be?
Oh, Merchant District, of course.
Sure,
And it's going to bring a lot of money, hopefully, back into town.
Gotcha. Well, thank you. Feel much better.
Good. And he goes, oh, and as for doing business with me, he moves through his, he's got a little desk, and he starts, or glass cabinets he pulls out. He goes, and remember, Bobbitt's back alley bioman. Here's a parting gift for bringing me such good business. And he hands you 1 health potion.
Oh!
I was actually going to ask if this is somewhere that would also have health potions.
Yeah, he's gonna give you 1 for free for bringing him such good business.
Just 1 or 1 each?
1 total.
Do you happen to have any more of these, actually? I really appreciate it, but...
Oh, sorry. I keep it just in case of emergency purposes, you see. But actually, I get most of my goods from... 1 second.
Couldn't help but notice that this health potion has your business card on it.
Right? Where are you, dude? This was our first feature. Right here.
Wait, Rich, did you not need healing, or did you already get healing from this dude?
I was first, actually.
Okay,
Oh,
gotcha.
there we go.
He healed 8 damage from me.
I get most of my my goods from Bitterroot's business. They've got great supplies, and they keep it on the cheap.
Cool. Whereabouts is that? I'll just get directions from him wherever.
He directs you back towards. He directs you towards the central slums. Actually,
It's actually you just head just across the river here, and you'll just ask around for Bitterroot on the other side. You'll see it soon enough. Cheap alchemy, cheap smokes.
All right.
So is that where we're going next?
I mean, I'd like some health potions. How long did that all take? Like,
we'll say that you guys were there for several hours, so it's probably early afternoon at this point. So yeah, you guys head off towards the central slums, which is pretty close to Ammo, actually, on the map. And I'll throw you guys back over to the map just so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So you're kind of over by number 6, after having to cross the river there. You guys see, the water is high right now, and many of the buildings that were kind of the shacks and whatnot that were built along the empty river or the mucky riverbed have all been flooded away, leaving more people without homes. But it appears to be that some folks are adding to it. So take that as you will. You guys are going to Bitterroot's business?
sounds good to me.
Can you all roll me a vigilance check?
Uh-oh.
We all have to.
Mm-hmm. Well, you
What
don't
if I
have
just
to.
choose to not be vigilant?
That's fine.
I don't want to drag everyone down.
Bull begins swinging his axe in every direction just to be safe.
2 and 4.
1 and 2.
2 and 1.
2 and 2.
Okay. So Ilya seems to be leading the way and doesn't seem to have his hair up on the back of his neck as much as the rest of you. But you guys get the sense that you're being followed. You probably have a tail.
Bull is going to instantly turn around and stare directly behind us.
Okay. Give me a perception check. Actually, give me either a streetwise check or an investigation check.
They're both going to be the same test for me.
Okay.
I am horseshoeing that fucker. That's better. 1 and 4.
You kind of, your eyes quickly assess for threats, and you look at anyone who's larger of stature or who seems to be carrying some sort of weapon on them. Looking about, you don't see you don't see any tail. You know you're being tailed. You can feel it. Your instincts are kicking in. You just don't see who.
And then I see Wretch's tail. I'm like, oh.
No.
Okay. So you guys walk around and you ask for Bitterroot's business, and you guys are directed towards. Basically, you're told that you can smell it before you can see it, and you come across what appears to be a shop, or it's not even advertised as a shop, but there's smoke coming out of one of the windows, with a very distinct, almost gingery smell. And as you guys walk in, you see that there are people set out almost as if they had recently imbibed in some sort of narcotic. Looking about the place, though, there doesn't seem to be any sort of shopkeeper. In fact, there doesn't even seem to be any sort of desk. But there are beaded curtains leading further.
We go in.
As you go in further, you are led towards some twisted staircases that lead you up to another floor. Walking through, you come across more folks who appear to be some sort of who appear to be either druggies or something along those lines. Can you give me either a investigation check or a medicine check as you guys are walking about? If you're just kind of curious as to what's up. Let me know what you rolled too.
I rolled investigation and I got 6 advantage, no success.
I rolled investigation and got 3 success and 1 advantage.
Medicine, 1 and 1.
I apparently used up all my luck already.
Wow.
So I did investigation. I got 1 advantage.
Okay. Emery runs ahead, like uncomfortable with this environment. And as you do, you spot something. You spot someone. It's Osaya, the ship captain from all those days ago.
Osaya? Is that you?
He doesn't immediately appear to be lucid. But as you approach, and you say his name, his eyes sort of roll back up, so to speak. He kind of looks around to see if he catches who said his name. What you guys see before you, by the way, the rest of the group. I believe he is a gnoll with white hair.
Got too many notes, boy.
Yeah, right. So yeah, Arso was right. Perfect. You guys see this gnoll with white hair with but it looks like he's just really dirty, almost mangy. And he's got what appears to be good clothes that have spoiled somewhat since the last time that you've seen him. And he kind of looks up at you. I know this face. Those horns. That flower in your hair. Ugh. Sorry. I'm very weak. The last time you seen him, he was sick with the black spot.
I'm. Last time I saw you, I thought. I mean, you had that same illness I barely escaped from. You got better from the spot, at least?
It didn't kill me. Still here. Wouldn't say I'm better. It's taken a hell of a toll. But I'm not dead yet.
How did you recover from it? I was lucky enough to meet my friend here, but
I went from biomancer to alchemist and back. Drank every bottle under the sun I could find. It's lucky.
I kind of look over to Reg with kind of a question in my eyes, like, and then look back at that guy and look at Reg like, is he okay?
Even though you didn't say, well, did you say that out loud or just like inferring?
No, just inferring, kind of like.
All right. Even though you're inferring, I just look at you and go, nope. And then I'll try and help him out.
Meanwhile, Ilya, what you notice with your high investigation roll is that while some of these people seem to be junkies, quite frankly, a lot of these people you've noticed are actually people getting treatment. They're just self-prescribing, or whoever's in this place might be working again with them. But you see people who have pretty nasty burns. You hear rasping. That's indicative of people who've got problems with their lungs. There are whatever happened to the city. There's a whole slew of different people in here with different symptoms. But you do also see, you smell a stench of a corpse in one of the corners of the rooms as well. But this isn't just a drug den. Anyways, you also see a door that appears to be leading up to a third floor. There's light coming in, so it's presumably a deck or a roof. And then, Wretch, what are you hoping to do?
I was trying to cure this guy of the black spot plus, like, months of misery.
Okay. What spells do you have?
I mean, I have lay hands for immediate healing. Cure malady, remove a physical condition. Cure hex, remove a magical condition. And those would be the relevant ones.
Okay.
Unless the black spot is a crit.
Give me a channeling check, and I will use your cantrip class for this.
Alright. Five and 3.
Reaching out, you touch what would be someone who is like, you know, the people who get when they get really, really, really sick and they lose a ton of weight and their immune system's compromised and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That seems to be what's going on. And as you reach out and touch him, you breathe a little bit of life back into him. Some of his muscles seem to fill out just a little bit. The rings in his eyes clear up just a touch. The skin grows a little bit more taut. The color in his gums, some of the pink starts to return. over what is a grayish black. As you touch him, you hear him go. It's like a hot bath. I don't know what you did, but thank you.
I just give him a thumbs up and then carry on through this door.
As you go out onto the, as you go through the door, you find yourself on a roof, a flat roof, where there is apparently a couple of chairs and what looks to be some sort of still. And there's a ladder going up to a roof that is one floor higher on the building next to this building that they're pushed together. But stoking putting a couple of timbers into the wood stove of the still, you see a Duragar, a dwarf with missing all of his hair, with purple veins all over his skin. He looks over at you and has piercing pale blue eyes. This is Bitterroot.
Am I alone up there, or?
You, him, and whoever else chooses to join.
I would have probably still been there.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Yay!
Sorry, this is not Bitterroot. He looks over at you. There is no Bitterroot. This is the purveyor of this place, though. He slowly stands up and hobbles towards you. Do you need something? He says in almost a whisper.
I could use some black rind. Well, I guess it's just black rind to make black rind tea.
See what I have.
Do you happen to have just regular health potions, you know?
I thought you were downstairs.
I said I would be with you.
Oh, I thought you said I'd probably still be with my friend.
Meaning
You're
that-
my friend.
Not Othaya.
You and
Well,
me.
Yep,
We're
ambiguous.
friends.
Yeah.
He goes, that's a little easier. And he opens up his shabby cloak and pulls up a cloudy. It looks like a vial that was burnt in a fire a long time ago. But there's some sort of substance in there. And he looks at you. Here you go. 15 silver.
How many of these do you have?
You don't look too unhealthy. I have more. Follow me. And he starts going downstairs.
We get unhealthy very quick. It's just sort of a piece of the business.
As you can see, I've been using as much of my supplies as I could to help out these folks. I need both of you to either give me a negotiation check or a streetwise check to determine how much he has.
I'll do a negotiation check.
So I'm going to have each of them do one of those.
Okay.
If you have
I'll
something
do it.
you'd like to get, you can do it after.
I'll do negotiation, I guess. Both mine are equally bad.
I'd like to ask him some questions about the people he's been treating, if he's seen something like this before. I know this has to do with the disaster, but
You see this husky dwarf walk with your compatriots following. Visibly, he's going down from the floor that you're on down to the floor below that. If you'd like to follow, you can talk to him about that.
yes, I am following.
Okay. He goes downstairs and starts. Not only he goes down to the first, he goes past the floor that you guys originally came in on, and down into what appears to be some sort of grungy cellar where there's these boxes and crates sitting in mud that he starts opening up and sifting through and shutting them and going over to another one. And a couple of like old pieces of pottery that he opens up and sniffs and shuts it. What did you get for your check, Wretch?
0-1.
0 and 1. Okay. Just this next one.
I'm afraid Blackrind is all gone bad.
He shuts the lid on one of his jars. Actually, yeah, he empties it out.
New potions.
2 success, 3 advantage.
2 success, 3 advantage.
Yep.
I'll say that with your 3 advantage, he actually has. He goes to empty out the black rind and catches one out the bottom.
This one's good. I've got 2 more potions. If you'll take.
Sure, so that's 2 total or 3 total?
3 health potions total.
Okay, I will buy them, so that'd be 75, or
Wait. 60 silver, please.
60 silver? Okay.
He kind of caresses the black rind that he has and hands it over. Actually, what am I offering?
20 silver. The black rind.
Are you paying the 20 silver?
For the health potions?
For the black rind, he's found one.
Oh,
The bottom of
sorry, I
the
thought you were
stairs.
talking about the health potions this whole time.
Nope.
Sure. 20 silver.
Okay,
How many doses does he have?
1.
Yeah, okay. One's better than none.
Yep.
And then that can make 3 pots, correct?
I believe 1 pot, right?
Yeah.
But 1 pot you can use for everyone.
Okay, so 3 doses, yeah.
There's 4 of us.
Yeah, I've never drank it.
Never needed to. I pass 1 health potion to everybody. Even split.
So at this point, Ilias arrives in the muddy basement of this place. If you
Are they
like to
just
ask him what you wanted to ask him?
standard health potion plus 5?
Josh.
Oh, yeah, they're standard health potions of 5 healing. Yep.
So see that you're treating some people who were victims of the accident. That befell the no, excuse me, northern part of the city, or the southern part.
Sounds like you need to
Oh
be
boy.
treated.
I mega dosed vitamin C this weekend, and it is still not doing shit.
Oh, no.
Have you ever seen something like this before?
I've been treating folks my entire life in the city. Well, for at least closer to 50 years. what has happened to these people I've never seen before. The workings of this black spot is strange. Most medicines don't work the way you would expect. Most patients are not treated the same. Had adverse reagents to one that helped another. It is something of an enigma. But what happened east, up in the hilltops, those burns, the sicknesses, most of those are relatively treatable, depending on if they're caught early. Pretty straightforward, but no less horrendous. I have a feeling most folks who will die have already died from that catastrophe. But there's still many that sit on the precipice. And two, one of the problems with it is the initial blasts, yes, killed many people and destroyed many of our structures. The problem is many of my reagents, I collect them from the effluent of the various manufactories here. I cannot guarantee the stability of them anymore. For the damage of the acid as it leaked out of A and B6. I believe it may have damaged some of the pipes to some other neighboring structures. Time will tell to see what kind of sicknesses are born from that. But at least the Tekeknu are hard at work themselves, cleaning it up.
When you said the black spot before and you were treating that, wait, that was separate from this, or is it related to the spill?
Kind of looks at you for a moment and lets the question linger there for a bit.
I believe they are pathogenically unrelated.
You can tell that he's... There's the question of related being like from the same people, you know, like politics-wise, are they related? Or, you know, that sort of stuff. He's like careful to not say anything. He's just like, I don't think they're the same thing. The black spot and the fallout of A and B6.
Anyways, I have many people to attend to, and finding good supplies without the cost of buying them from Cheto Corp is takes much of my time. I must leave you. If you're looking for more black rind tea and you have the coin, just go to Cheto Corp. My place is for those who can't afford the likes of the medicines that the company men can afford. You look rather well off, and I'm willing to help in a bind, but it doesn't appear to be you this day. Thanks for your business.
He moseys upstairs. So you can go to Chettle Corp if you'd like to buy, like, literally that is a massive corporation completely on the acquisition of rare ingredients.
Okay. I made a note of it, but we did what Emery and I wanted to do, so might want to hop on over to Bull and Ilya's quest for armor and armaments.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as
That
you
needs me some armors.
So as you guys go upstairs, and go to exit in that original slum, where there was, in the original like smoking den, sitting in a beanbag. You guys hear, sorry, 1 second. Hey, Baleful 4. And
Oh, gee, that's us.
speaking up is a small, maybe a goblin, maybe a leprechaun, a small person, with orange hair and skin that is yellowish in pallor, but appears to be greening behind the neck and the ears. They've got really short hair and a nose ring. Kind of look over at you. They've got a really long pipe thing. They're kind of like chewing on it. She goes, "You've pulled the eyes of people in high places. Sit down."
Why?
In a good way or a bad way? In a good way or a bad way?
We're on a time schedule, and historically that attention hasn't been good.
Sure. Figured as much. Well, if you're looking to talk to Romaniel anytime soon, he's got the deets for you. Old boss will want a word. And,
Okay.
just know, your bounties are all paid up.
Paid up.
She goes,
Paid up.
paid up. Yeah.
Paid up. Paid
Shit.
up. Oh.
Do we know Emmanuel? Like, do we know
Romaniel's the
that
guy who gave us the contract to kill the Herald. Paid up. Those were substantial, were they not? Like, oh no. That's so much worse than if we cleared them ourselves.
But-
Kind of like finding out that the mafia just decided to pay your student loans.
Oh gosh! I mean, I'm
so
so glad.
grateful. I can't possibly imagine what I could do to repay this kindness. I'll think about it in a country that doesn't have an extradition treaty.
Anyways, thought you might want to know. She just takes a hit of whatever's in this pipe.
Our bounty is paid up.
So are we meeting Romaniel in the same place as before?
Yeah, I want armor first because whoever paid that up is very, very wealthy. And
Well, no, I was just suggesting we ask her since she mentioned it in the first place.
yeah, that is a good idea, yes.
She goes, I don't know Romaniel, alright? I just know that, if you wasn't gonna go with me directly, you can go through him.
Well, you said our bounties were paid up. You're saying by him, or
No, you're not gonna get those words from me. I had a message to deliver. And now I'm off shift. Alright?
Okay. So, do you know...
Oh, you caught the
Nice.
That was perfect comedic timing. Well, A&B Corp was in the swath of disaster. You're off shift. You might not even answer.
Just so bad.
So as
Oh
you're
my god!
as you're coughing on the smoke, she walks over, pitter patter towards Emery, and she she walks over towards Ilya and pats him on the back, and as she does, she slips something into your hand, and she just goes, just look for the three-headed dog, and turns around and walks away. In your hand is a platinum piece.
As in money?
Yes.
You couldn't have put that in. Bull.
I did not hear any of that.
I said Ilya. Because Ilya's the one coughing on the smoke.
No, I asked as in money.
Yeah.
Platinum
It's
piece
a
as in money?
silver piece of money. Sorry, a platinum piece of money. And on it it looks old and kind of tarnished. And on it, on one side is a symbol. It's a three-headed dog. And the why is that weird? And on the for the heads, the one in the center has coins for eyes, and the one on the left has a scroll in its teeth, and the one on the right has a workman's hammer in its teeth.
Hey, we found the three-handed dog.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
Oh boy! While you're coughing, the little goblinoid walked up to you, said, whispered into your ear, "Just look for the three-headed dog," and slipped a piece of platinum, tarnished platinum, into your hand. And on the coin was a three-headed dog. The one on the left having a scroll in its teeth. The one in the center snarling, having gold coins for eyes. And the one on the right having a workman's hammer in its snarling mouth.
Oh no.
Do you recognize it?
I have a feeling it has to do with the bank. But the symbolism to me suggests a union between the trades, coin, and some sort of
You can give me
scholarly institution.
You can give me a knowledge people check.
I'll take a crack at it and try not to die. Oh.
4 bucks.
2.
2 success.
Yep.
What you see is the crest of... It's a very, very, very old crest. It is the crest that united all of the old world back in the day. This is a coin that symbolizes like old imperialist money.
So, like, a king? Or...
Say something about a mint earlier?
The sovereign die is number 9 over there, and that is the original mint of the old world. So, yeah.
Now we gotta walk all the way over there.
But there's no bounty on our heads.
Or you can go see Romano, and he's literally the ammo is right next to you. Or you can go shopping. You can do whatever you want.
I think we should go to sleep.
I need armor. I have this distinct feeling that we got into an even bigger world of shed.
No.
Us? No.
And this whole time, like, Bull is standing behind everybody with, like, a smirk on his face, like, told you fuckers so.
Hold on. I just remember you telling us that we had to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, as in there's no reason to ever come back.
Because the forest is working out so great for us.
Everything is just so friendly and nice everywhere we go.
Just, well, you'd have to work with humans and you wouldn't be up for that, but... You know, I feel like you're warming up to them. We're going to be humble farmers. No shoddy organizations to deal with. We just grow corn and mind our own business.
All right.
And as you continue saying we, Bull just looks like squints at you more and more.
Yeah, I need armor, and I would like to do that post haste.
All right. You know of Stornholt's Arms and Armor in the Executive District, which is up here. If you'd like to go.
I think, you know, I think maybe we go to ammo instead, because I got my sword and we've got our bowl, and our bounty is paid.
Sure.
Okay.
As you guys go to ammo. There is that same Knoll secretary up at the front of what is now a massive line at the entrance to ammo, as it seems that they have also acquired, like, they have kind of like, they're like renting out all of the local structures nearby too, as they have spilled out into the nearby area, as they're working on helping a ton of different folks. But you see that guy, just like tickets are coming through, and he's, you know, having to shout over people, and there's just a whole kerfuffle in the main court, the main area, almost like the DMV would be for our world, it seems. If it was also a spot where people were doing horse bets. What would you like to do? There's an office down the way if you would like to just push through everything and kick open Romano's office door. There's sitting quarters. You can try to get this guy's attention.
Well, I know Araya would wait in line, so I'll wait and see what other people do.
I'll wait in line.
I don't want to cause a bigger scene before we have to deal with consequences of our actions. But we need to get through. Figure out what the hell's going on here.
Yeah, and Bull doesn't know what a line is, so he sees you guys standing in the line, and he's just like, I guess they're just gonna wait here, and he literally just keeps walking right up to the desk.
Okay, so you just kind of like start shouldering people aside. Okay. So you do that, and quickly, you get the attention of other folks in the space, and as you get to the desk, the knoll up front goes,
Why? What is it?
We need to see Romaniel immediately.
Look
We have a
around.
contract
All right.
to fill. I am looking around. I am talking about a life or death situation right now. There's no bureaucracy involved. I hate to be impolite, but we have a contract with him that's more or less life or death and has a deadline.
okay. You see some like hit their jacket go like this, and they look over and look down, and there's this leprechaun sitting there, and she goes, it's this young girl that looks at it like she would be easily misconstrued as a child. Looks up and goes, "Oh, I think that these ones." She goes, "Oh, I'm sure that could be arranged. It'll just cost 1 tarnished platinum."
Oh. Yeah, I'm going to pull out the... I don't know if it was... Did she hand it to Emery or me?
You.
Yeah. I'm going to pull out the tarnished platinum and slide it over.
Right this way. And they open up one of those little like bank things that flops open so you can walk through, and they lead you not to a waiting room but into the bowels of ammo. And you end up having to pass like kilns, livestock. Sorry, there's areas where people are being actively treated. There's some sanitation vats. There's huge casks and ceramics and glass ceiling areas. There's a whole warehouse that you have to go through. And
So are you two still standing in line then?
no, everyone's going with, I would assume.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And as you guys are walking like through this warehouse, kitty corner comes around one of these shelves is Romaniel in his coat, and he kind of looks over at you guys, and she goes, "Oh, well, right this way then. You can come along too." And he kind of looks over at you guys, nods, and starts following her as well.
Oh.
You gonna say something?
Nope.
Okay. You guys are led out and back to an area where there is apparently some stables with a whole assortment of different creatures. So I like this background.
Mhm.
And up ahead, there is some sort of large cattle-like beast. Although it's got a way too broad of a face. It has no horns on the top of its head, and it's got very shaggy hair. And gray-blue. And there's a gentleman who appears to be brushing its snout with a horse comb type brush, and he's got a white button up, and he's got suspenders that are crisscrossed on his back. From here, you can see copper-ish hair that has been oiled and parted on the top of his head, and this young girl, old leprechaun, pads closer and closer, and this gentleman's wearing like nice modern leather shoes almost, and almost like a tweed pants. And still a relative 20 feet away from the person. She goes, friendly, the Baleful Four will see you now. She looks at you guys and walks away.
We have a name.
She goes, yeah, Baleful Four and friendly, and Romaniel will see you now. So.
We're the Baleful Four? I say, like, a little late, like we've heard it a few times, and wait, that's us?
Thank you, Marquis. Excuse me for one moment, but Eingor here will get absolutely in a kerfuffle if he doesn't get his scrunches. He continues to scrunch this, the face of this big beast in this stall. He kind of looks over, turns back around, and starts. Oh, I forgot my jacket. And yes, normally I would have a smoke right about now.
May I? And, like, you see Emery's, like, walking up, she wants to pet the pet.
Oh, funny. Oh, thank you. He is quite onerous if he doesn't get as much attention as anyone else in the room. And the person that you guys see is roughly looks like this.
It's a beady-eyed Frenchman.
That's an elf in a suit.
Yeah, that is an elf.
Yeah, a beady-eyed Frenchman.
Yeah. Gives me vibes of that. Anyway.
So that's ballpark. Right now he is, like I said, tweed pants, all white button up, crisscross, whatever. Just looks polished. And looks over at the rest of you in the space. So just so you guys know, we are starting something a little. I'm going to try something a little different. So you are starting a social encounter, meaning that there are stakes on this. It's long story short is that. There's going to be a series of rounds with which you guys are going to converse with this gentleman who's been announced to be friendly. I'm assuming that you guys would like to figure out what their motives are. And the other objective is for you to try to convince him of your ambivalence. So every single round, you guys are going to get a chance to roll something based off of the question or whatever's going on in the conversation. So you can tell me, hey, I would like to try to do this. But your basic two things that you can do in the conversation is to basically, he's going to scrutinize you guys. And at the same time, you have the opportunity to scrutinize him, so to speak. He looks at you guys and goes, well, I'm very much so interested in what I've purchased to see what my money has bought me. Who are you? I know the Baleful Four is what they've taken to calling you ever since your kerfuffles caused quite a stir amongst the folks of Limor. But I ask you, who are you? And so with that, long story short is I'm going to keep track of your guys' successes and what it'll take for him to, for you to gain some sort of element of him accepting you guys as being good guys or whatever, right? And then the second component is that you'll need a certain amount of successes to understand a little bit more about his allegiances, backgrounds, and motives. So for every certain amount of successes, you guys will get more information from that. Note, each round is associated with a question. So in this case, round 1 is associated with who are you? If you answer the question, who are you, with your response, what you'd like to do, you'll get +1 success to your roll. If you ignore the question and you just want to yell at him or something like that, you'll get -1 success because you're being improper. Right? You're ignoring any sort of interaction that he's asked of you guys. So, not saying that you can't do that, but that's just kind of how the social encounter rules work. So, with that, you guys feel free to do what you will. We'll just do one. Everyone will get 1 turn before we'll go into round 2.
Okay. We are a group of people who have been bonded by extreme circumstances and have suffered tremendously in the name of doing what we believe is the right thing. I have been willing to give up untold fortune for the sake of doing the right thing and for our group to follow what we believe is right. We have, as a collective, seen the engine of creation. My sword was blessed by a deity himself. Her brother was brought back to life as part of that very same bargain. We have a.
I'm gonna pause you there because you're just gonna keep going and going and going. I assume until.
Yeah, like talk about like the kinds of extremes that we have gone to as a group, but also the fact that I'm not interested in glory. I'm not interested in piles of gold. We've been willing to give up both of those things when we knew it wasn't the right thing.
Okay.
We're also
With
really,
that,
really
so
good at killing.
what I will say is that for this first round, I'm going to grab. You are the kind of folks who aren't interested in money, but in doing the right thing. What would you like to roll with that? Charm or leadership would work pretty good in my opinion, but I'm open to others.
They're the same for me, but I also have more points in negotiation. We're not trying to get anything, so
It's still part of the. It's still a conversational piece, right? You're trying to broker an understanding of each other.
So could I roll negotiation?
I'll allow it.
Okay. Ho 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 ha ha ho.
Don't get too excited.
3 and 1.
Okay. Is there anything anyone else would like to say? Who's next? And are you going to attempt to convince him of your ambivalence, or are you going to try to read in on who this guy is?
So Bull is just being Bull. So he's standing there with his arms crossed, standing menacingly. Because he can't understand the French accent because this is the first time he's ever heard it.
Okay. All right. Would you like to size him up? Maybe use some of your opportunity to kind of like. You don't have to speak someone's language to necessarily determine if they're shifty, if they are pompous, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I guess with the way that Bull is, I imagine the other 3 are like in front of me. I'm standing in the back, arms crossed, kind of just playing with my beard like I am now. Keeping an eye on him and anything else that might be going on in the room.
Okay. Give me a vigilance or an investigation check.
I always forget where vigilance is. There it is. It's the same roll either way for me. 3 success, no advantage.
As you look him up, there's a casualty or a casualness about his relaxed posture that makes you think that maybe there is a strength to this person that doesn't meet the eye. And with that, we will move over to Ilya or Wretch. Sorry, Emery or Wretch.
I feel like Ilya explained our position pretty good, so I'll leave it alone.
Okay, did you want to, like, as part of your ability chance to roll with this, would you like to add to, or like basically narratively be like, yeah, over his shoulder or and whatnot?
I can do that if I'm not going to drag down the average, because I am terrible at this talking thing.
No, so there's not going to be an average on this. It's going to be cumulatively adding up everyone's rolls. But if you're not going to add anything, so he asked the question, "Who are you?" Right? You could go a couple other different routes. Talk about your past. Talk about your wants, desires. You could talk about a whole bunch of different things. But to answer that question, if you wanted to. Otherwise, if you want to just be like, yeah, then you can roll two boost dice, and like thematically, then you added on where you could on the conversation that points that
Turn on your
Ilya
cuteness.
was.
Yeah. Blink.
I'll just throw a yeah over the shoulder.
All right, roll 2
Yeah.
boost dice.
Yeah.
0-0.
Oh my god. Okay.
Awesome.
What would you like to do, Emery?
Emery is at this point brushing the horse, and she's going to add in basically that she's come from humble beginnings, like she used to take care of animals back at her, like, her forest and then up to the north in the Gnarlwood. And if she's honest, and maybe it's not just her that feels this way, but might have gotten a bit over our head lately from at least where I started. But I can't help but agree with my friend here. We're just trying to do the best we can with what we've got.
All right, so go ahead and give me give me a charm roll. Would be a good one for this. And I'll add a boost die from you, showing your compassion towards animals.
He said the horse was important, man.
It's a giant cow-like creature. But
Well, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was brushing at the beginning of this. 3 success, 2 advantage.
Okay. Get another success for having answered the question as well. Okay. Continuing on, so he listens, and you elicit quite the story. You elicit quite the story. I would be very interested in hearing more. And with that, the second round is going to be tell me your story. And so is the third round. So this is why I was going to break Ilya off at where I did. Is he is interested in hearing about your guys' story. So if you would like, I'm not going to make you repeat what you said earlier, but you mentioned, you went through the chaos engine and back quite literally, right? Is there anything that you guys would like to speak up about your guys' escapades and telling him your story? And at this point, I mean, there's a lot that you guys could add. So please do. And I'm giving you 2 full rounds of rolls for this particular thing. Keep in mind also that you can do items like what Bull is doing for these next 2 rolls and attempt to understand more about him, etc. as well. So with that, Ilya, I'll give you, based off what you've already said, I'll give you your first roll.
Okay.
And for this one, I would either go with performance or leadership.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, like going to the chaos engine back. We to speak to the us doing the right thing. We went to the chaos engine and back to get chemo, but once we got to Ambrosia, and once we realized what she would ask of us and the lengths that we would have to go against who we were to accomplish that mission, I laid that task away from me. I threw away all that hardship, all that pain, all that time traveling was a sunk cost in my mind against having to help somebody like Ambrosia.
This chemo. Who is he to you?
It was a mission set to me by the Iron Cathedral. He had absconded up the White Flow in the forest with gems of significant magical importance that were potentially related to very complicated and very culturally significant goings on within the forest. I was told to investigate and retrieve those stones, and also figure out what Chemo, who was working for the Sons of Yin, the Sons of Yin, why he wanted them and why he cared.
Go ahead and roll for your second round and your third round, because both of them are telling me your story. So roll and then re-roll. Just give me the results of both.
Holy shit! 3 advantage and 1 advantage.
No,
You rolled 3 advantage on your first roll and 1 advantage on the second roll.
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay. So as he's telling the story,
Yikes.
yeah, you seem to come off maybe a little bit rambly at the time. Is anyone else want to pick up the story and emphasize some of the important bits or some of the parts that you want him to take away from it?
There it goes.
I want to be watching him and see which things make his eyes light up, that sort of thing. Like, I'd like to try to see what he's interested in, because I don't know much about him.
Yeah, give me
an classic people pleaser needs to know.
Give me an interpretation roll.
All right.
This is contested.
1 success, 4 advantage.
Okay.
Oops.
It's going to take some more time as other folks tell their parts of the stories, but you're making progress.
Okay.
4
When I'm
advantage, you
still
said?
present, I'm just not in frame.
Was that 4 advantage?
Yes.
Okay. So as you are waiting to jump in on the next opportunity to speak, as you're waiting to hear, see if anything probes him, I'm going to say that you are able to speak up and highlight one of the mentions of that Ilya does, and basically add 1 success to the ambivalence track as you're waiting to see if that sparks anything in him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wretch, how about you?
Oh, I'll try and focus the story.
Okay. What are you trying to focus it on? As far as, because he's, you're trying to convince him of the good-naturedness, your guys' mission, etc. What would you like to emphasize?
I'll try and impress upon him the the effects of the hunger and cinder wandering around and how detrimental it is to the life around the city and the turmoil, we seek to just calm things down.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a charm or a leadership or a performance roll.
I'll do charm, leadership, or performance. Charm and leadership are the same for me, so I'll go with leadership.
Okay.
2 and 1.
All right. He nods along with the story. Go ahead and roll again, as I'll say that your round 3 is, unless you want to add more specific to it. You can say that you're just you're detailing more of what you just said, so to speak.
All right. One and 1.
Meanwhile, Bull, what are you trying to garner out of this social situation while everyone is talking about this story? Talking about you guys' tale.
So you said we're in like a stable, correct?
Yeah, you're currently you're not in a building right now, but there's stalls in a lean-to in front of him, and there's other stalls in another lean-to behind you guys, and there's a couple other buildings in this channel off to the side. So you're if you look straight up, you're in open sky right now, but you're amongst a bunch of other buildings.
All right, buddy.
All right, so I am staying in place, but without looking around frantically like I'm looking for something. I'm gonna see if I happen to notice anybody hiding in the area or paying attention to us besides him.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me a vigilance roll or a perception roll.
Shit, 2 advantage.
You see Romaniel there. You hear some rather deep barks from behind one of the close by buildings. There's other people moving around, but none that immediately catch your eye with 2 advantage. If you would like to roll again for round 3 and commit to that to do that again, you can.
Yeah, I'll just do that again.
Okay.
Because we know how long-winded Ilya is.
I'm doing my best.
Son of a bitch, 2 advantage again.
Yikes.
Apparently all my good rolls were right away at the beginning.
Yeah, being back in Lemoore, you're off your game. This is a kind of a crazy place, and it's just so loud, unfortunately. Meanwhile, for this 3rd round, Emery.
You said it would take me a bit more time to try to get the gist of
Yep.
what he's into or what interested in as far as.
Yeah. So as those two finish up the story, we can go ahead and give me another check for trying to interpret what he's listening for.
Okay. 2 success, 3 advantage.
Success. Okay. You're getting very close to getting some more of his background information. So what I will say is that shows.
Oh yeah, I probably don't want to do that. I can soul scribe, but he might notice if I do. Sorry.
What I'll say is that it really shows. Where is this? he's sizing you guys up in a couple of ways. One, he's hearing what kind of stories you have for, like, what kind of light you shine yourselves in. He's also trying to figure out, like, physically speaking, sizing you up based off of what stories you're saying. Determining your propensity to lie, etc. So you haven't found enough success to determine his motives or allegiances or anything like that, but you definitely have been able to pick up that he's picking out what do you want. He's trying to figure out. Yeah, you realize that he's trying to glean what do you want me to hear, and also he's gleaning how useful are you guys, right? But keen eyes for sure.
I have a side question. Is Manuel just in this like room, just listening to this bit?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's there.
Okay.
He's standing behind you guys. Yes. Quite a tale, quite a tale. Let's go for a walk. And he starts to walk away. He walks down the stables and around one of these smaller shacks, and you see a mud pit on the other side. And there are, in this mud pit, with some small fences around it, there's a whole, I don't know, herd of pigs, large pigs. And there is a gigantic 3-headed dog that is chasing them and pushing them around and playing with them. And it's like nipping at them and stuff like that, and they're just running around, and these hogs are like 600 to 800 pound hogs, and they're just freaking out because the Cerberus's body is larger than a draft horse. Like it's a chunky boy. It is its main body before the heads is maybe a little bit bigger than a grizzly bear.
Oh my gosh, sorry. Emery is immediately interested. She's just like, oh, what's that? Ooh.
Well, that brings me to round 4, because he looks at you and goes, "What do you see looking at my Cerberus?"
Can I look at it? I want to try to figure out more about it.
Oh, sure, yeah. So you can do a knowledge nature check, or you can do a investigation check. Knowledge nature would be like, what do you know about Cerberuses? So which one would you like to do? The other one would be like, what can you tell in this moment?
Knowledge nature.
Okay.
4 success, 2 advantage.
So having actually rolled 2 boost dice.
Oh, I didn't even roll my boost dice for the day.
Oh wow, yeah. Have you guys been rolling your boost dice for the day?
I have.
No.
Okay.
No.
Wretch and Bull, each roll me 3 boost dice, and I'll add the totals of your success to the previous checks.
I have been.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Wretch and Ilya is what I probably spoke wrong there.
0 and 1.
On all 3?
Yeah, the little blue dice don't have a lot of success on them.
It's true. Ilya?
1 and 2.
All right. Adding 1 to your previous rounds.
I got 5 success, 5 advantage on
Damn.
the
Okay.
knowledge check.
Having attempted to train wolves in the
Mhm.
wild, what you know about the Cerberus is that it is one of the oldest creatures of biomancy.
Huh. Yes.
And it is massively successful trained dog, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And like, because historically trained dogs were a thing and that art was lost. Same thing with the creation of Cerberuses. They are they used to be very well known up in by the Gnarlwood, because the capital of the old world is up that way. And so you would have been familiarized with conversations about these things.
Emery basically starts geeking out. Like, she gets so excited that she just starts spewing some of that out. Like, and she's just like, it's so cute. It's so great. Oh, wow. You know, like, it's like, kid at the zoo. And I know this, and I know this, and I know this.
Mm-hmm. They're fiercely loyal. They're one of the few types of hounds that don't necessarily need a pack, right? Because you're used to wolves and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They seem to have more of a bond with sapient than they do with other animals, as a matter of fact. But you can tell from this one's demeanor that it's playing. But one thing else that you can notice is that it seems to be twitching an ear in your direction. Like, it's, even though it's playing, it seems to have a beat on where its master is. Like, you saw, actually, I'll say with your check, you even saw it when we guys walked around, that it looked up towards you and there was a slight gesture, a slight nod from Friendly, and it went back to playing.
Can I play with it? No.
So with that, so you got your roll on knowing a little bit more about it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to use your first round here, as he asks you, what do you see looking at my Cerberus?
Like I said, she's nerding out like a kid at the zoo.
Okay.
You know, listing all the facts they know about the animals and getting excited, wiggling a little bit. You know, and just like, basically just like, so excited.
Okay, give me a charm check.
One success, 2 advantage.
Because of your success in your knowledge nature check, and because you're answering his question literally, you get 2 success on top of that, just so you know.
Yay.
How about everyone else? What would you like to do with this round? As he says, what do you see looking at my Cerberus?
I see a symbol of strength and power.
Ah! Do you, he looked at you, do you mean this in a respectful way?
Yeah, like I admire the Cerberus because of its size and power.
Okay. I'll allow you to give me a leadership or a charm check with that. And then, Bull, what were you going to ask?
1-1?
So that becomes a 2-1.
You feed all 3 or just 1?
Astute question. You see, Medotius is actually identified as 3. There's Mad, Dot, and Theus. All of them prefer their own fill. They've got individual stomachs, but I think I'm not familiar with how it all links up. He's only got the one bump. Massive sheets, though. Give me an investigation roll.
Asking how it eats, I'm extremely successful. 3 success.
Wow, okay. I'm adding that to looking into kind of him and his motives and his background, etc. This seems to be someone who values life, values living creatures, which gives you an inclination that he doesn't have the feverish evil of other characters that you've seen. He might be a good guy. So he got enough successes to glean you a little bit into the background with your previous questions, etc.
And since you're interested in this, Emery, all 3 heads get fed.
Okay, I'm very glad to hear that. But Emery's still thinking about all of it. Oh, so does that mean 3 stomachs? And then...
He did confirm it's only got 1 pooper.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue our walk. And as you guys start to walk away, he takes you into town and through town and starts gesturing around the city and walking across. And you guys kind of go up and down, and he doesn't really say much. But he stops on one of the bridges that is up towards the executive district. And leaning across the bridge's really sturdy railings, he looks back to you guys. And what do you see, looking at the accomplishments of Lemore?
See a lot of suffering. See a lot of people here that need help. The air they breathe chokes them. The water's poisonous. See a lot of greatness built on people's backs.
Is suffering.
Okay, both of you can roll leadership.
That'll be a 1.
One and one.
Okay. Is there anything that you, Bull, want to do at this time?
We're on the move again, right?
You're standing on a bridge at this point. But you can do something with the time that you guys were walking around if you'd like.
As we're walking around, I'm just going to keep an eye out again to see if anybody else that isn't known shows up or starts following, keeps glancing at us, that kind of stuff.
So Romaniel stays back at Ammo as Friendly just gestures to him going, "It's okay, I'll take it from here." Go ahead and give me a vigilance check.
Two and 1.
2 and 1. There are some folks following you who are a lot more conspicuous than the previous person. There appears to be 2 very, very light blue-skinned Jotun bloods following. At a respectable distance.
Like, armed and armored, or just, like, civilian looking?
Civilian looking. Emery?
He asks about Lemore, and I look at him again, and I'm trying to figure out how he feels about Lemore, like, you know.
Sure. Are you gonna? You can ask him something. You can take your time asking him how he feels about Lamar, etc.
Yeah, yeah, you know what? Sure. You've been asking us a lot of questions, but what about you? What do you see in Lamore?
Give me a negotiation or a leadership role. Or charm. I would allow charm.
I'm gonna do charm. It's Emery's not a leader. She's just trying to be sweet. 2 success, 2 advantage.
Yeah, it goes. You see. Looks out. There is a name for the folks. The pinnacle of the works of the A&B and Mastercraft and them all. They call them models. You know why. What's the value there of their changes? It's purely cosmetic, sometimes utility, yes. But the thing is, most of the folk who come to Le Mans, they have something in them they do not like. Or they have a need only this place hopes to accomplish. I think your friends here forget that. Yes, there is cruelty in this world, but there is great hope as well. Lamar has accomplished a lot. It has made the lives of many people much better. I think that your salt must come with a bit of pepper.
Very, very, very wise. Thank you.
But, and he walks back down a little bit, he goes, you are right, there is no lack of misfortune amongst the Lemurans. It sounds to me like there is not far you have to go to find other folks in similar plights. Not of the making of the Lemurans themselves, or even of the sapient. I think that maybe there is room for improvement. Tell me, what do you see when you look at these people? The byproducts of all of Lemur, not just their accomplishments, but also its excrement.
Is he addressing all of us?
Yeah. So the 6th round is so the 5th round was what do you see looking at the accomplishments of Lamar, and then the 6th round is what do you see looking at the excrement of Lamar.
All right, I think that they go hand in hand. You talked about the hope that this place has and everything that people are trying to become when they come to Lemoore. And part of that gambit, that gamble that people take when they get here is what produces that excrement. Two sides of the same coin of ambition. I look at the people here as I look at the people everywhere is we all have hopes and dreams, and sometimes fortune is in our favor and sometimes it isn't.
I'm gonna second the second part, especially.
Okay. What about Wretch or Bull?
I'll just support that. I have too much else to add there.
Okay. Bull?
Bull just simply says, this is only my second time in big populated city. I am from the woods. We don't live like this.
Hmm. The structured encounter is going to come to a close now. As he looks back out, he goes, "You're right, Bull. This place is very different than the woods. We do strange things here. It is not easy to determine the right course of action to generate the most good for folks. I took you up here because it is quiet. We could have a moment alone. The wind muffles all sound that might carry to ears beyond Kafti and Oldar over there," gesturing towards the two Jotun. "You see, there is a problem. Something in the root of the mountain that is beleaguering Lemur and encouraging the corporations to maybe act a little bit more greedy than they would otherwise. They are paying tithes to a apex predator. That's a thing you know, Bull. It rules by fear. It is responsible for the pain you see down below. Her name is Grimnod." And he looks over your eyes, seeing some recognition. "The corporations do not have the tools necessary to get rid of this creature that is reigning over them with tyranny. But I see you, such a small group, to wield such immense power. I think there is opportunity. Maybe with a bit of focus, you can do it your heart's desire. Bring folks. You can bring folks a lot of relief. And I think Lemur has a use for you. See, the corporations, they want to be rid of Grimnod. And I think that maybe eventually, you four, you can be the point of the spear, as they say. To do this, I think it'll take time. We don't know who our allies are here in town. Yes, the corporations all would benefit from the lack of Grimnod, from her absence, but they call her master as of now. I represent the Cerebrum Sierra. It's a group that has power outside of Lemur. A little bit more breadth to it. But we must work in the ambiguity. I fear I cannot give you a seal that will tell everyone to do as I say, give you all the resources necessary. But no. No one is coming after you today. I've paid off your bounties, but also I've brokered the peace. A truce between the Browns and the Natari. The gangs of this place. So I have a request from you. Would you ally with me as your patron? Help me get rid of this Grimnod in due time.
I can't remember if Bull is familiar with this name or not.
You would have been in the room when Wallaby had mentioned Grimnod earlier, because it was after it was literally your last meeting with Wallaby before leaving town last, while you guys are sitting at that In and Out.
I thought you were there at the.
Well, Bull, were you there when we killed
Oh, yeah.
her grandson? Because I'm pretty sure you were, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Grenelda is the dragon lady.
Grimnod is the dragon. Yes.
Okay.
What was his group?
Cerebrum Sierra.
Okay, thank you. Seems like something I should write down.
How urgently do you need this person dealt with?
I don't think you are ready to deal with Grimnod. But I would have you do it. Here's, I would like to shape you into such a thing that could take care of it. He goes, there is a lot of work that needs to be done around here. A chance for you to hone your skills, build contacts, garner resources, do research about this Grimnod. So that way you are... He kind of looks at his shirt. So that way you are tailored to the task.
Okay, because there's like a giant forest demon that needs dealing with, and that's...
It's a bronze dragon, isn't it?
I meant Cinder.
Oh, yeah.
He's just saying we got.
And the godson or whatever we have to kill under town.
Well, yeah, sure. So like dragons, like one step up, and then we take one more step to God.
You don't have to, like,
Got a baby step into this. Okay?
kill or fight Cinder necessarily. We just gotta give him some Pepto-Bismol from the gods.
Yeah.
We could also all just jump on a boat and go to a completely different continent.
This
Yeah,
is what
it's
you were.
like,
This is what you were talking about earlier today.
Yeah.
He was like, "They're gonna throw me for a loop."
So he goes, Grimnod is not going to be dealt with in a toilet. There's many things that need to be done around here. The aberrant subjects are still at large. The ground zero of the devastation of Grimnod is not cleaned by the fonts of Agathas. We need someone to go up to Agathas and bequeath and request from the dwarves that they come down and help us clear the contamination. What's more, I think you need to do your reconnaissance inside town and build up gratitude and loyalty within the factions ahead. Within the powers that hold.
Oh, and so as he's talking to us, Bull is just going to randomly go, "Why the Baleful 4?"
He takes this.
Who knows why the names of who knows why the citizens name folks the way they do, but at least it's catchy, no? I think it has to do with your fire. And he pokes you in the chest. There's something about you that feels like a tempest, surging, barely contained. I hope to focus you in the devastation you wreak, so there is no what's the word I'm looking for?
Lateral?
Yeah, exactly. So there is no collateral. With me, we might be able to give you what you need to have structure. Speaking of which, we'll need information on Grimnode. We'll need information about this town and the workings. I have some marginal details, but I know inside the Royal Spire there is information as of yet that hasn't been tapped in a long time. The local executives are afraid of it. The walls haven't been opened in hundreds of years. It would be a good place for us to start. If you opened up the Royal Spire, I have authority to claim it for the Cerebrum Sierra. And we could find information that has not been vetted by Petrogovich Bank. Nor has it been sequestered by Ammo or Mastercraft or burned by Farheed.
Well, I'd like to confer with the party before we give our answer. But I like this guy. And I feel responsible in part because I murdered Grimnod's grandson.
I
I know that the evil in question is Grimnod, but I know that I played a role in my decision to kill him.
I think it's a good idea. I think we do some good. It's just as long as he understands, and it sounds like he does, that we have not just commitments to him, but to other things too. You know?
He friendly just says because I know you guys want to have your private conversation, so he's gonna say I'm just gonna retcon this. He goes,
Yeah.
Romaniel is under the understanding that he will be your handler here in town. And if you need to get a hold of me, you can go through him, or feel free to take a visit to the Belicio Accenteur. They are my local traveling troupe.
Oh no.
And with that, he smiles and walks away.
Damn it! We signed up with the circus!
Well, you signed up with someone who is using the circus as a cover, but yeah.
You tricked me!
Bull is okay with being a strong man.
As he walks away, you hear,
No!
Speeds away on a tiny tricycle.
Why would you hide this until now?
Hi, Shara.
Actually, during that conversation, I remembered about the Zeppelin, and I was going to say Bull goes outside and looks for the Zeppelin again. Because we, completely ignored it as soon as we got into town.
True.
We had other stuff going on. We didn't have time to sightsee.
I personally am terrified of circuses, so.
It'll be your
You
chance
or
to fight
Emery?
the clowns.
Sarah.
Emery would probably love them.
Yeah. Especially if they have a bunch of three-headed dogs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I said my piece.
So he kind of rapidly belted out several issues around town, but long story short is that you guys can kind of go out and do what any of these things that you'd like throughout your time here, just to let you know before the next session which one you'd like to pursue. But he mentioned, the aberrant subjects are still a problem.
I guess. Go ahead.
You can go and do the fights for entertainment that are being done out in the fields for people. You can go to Agatas, which is the area with the dwarves that hold. They run the fonts of Renvalar, which is what clears the streets out. But they having a bunch of dwarves, they can go and they have like HEPA filter beards, so they can go to Ground Zero and help deal with stuff out there. You can go to the Royal Spire and open it up and clear it out. So that way.
Just a moment.
What?
I think you said just a moment.
Just a moment to me or to Hannah?
Us.
Us. Okay, I'm gonna run and go grab a drink real quick, and then we're gonna finish this up.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna take a couple seconds. And there's not a shower outside. So let's go potty.
She's very upset.
Let's go potty. Come on.
We should we ask Romaniel first if we still have to do his fight or not?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask Josh. Because I don't.
Because it sounds like we got promoted.
It sounds like they were so impressed with all of our good work, we skipped that requirement. You know.
And also, if it's an option, Bull will just go spend all day, every day at the fighting rings.
Fair.
Like, end up retraining the entire town guard.
Yeah. He's all for it.
Gretch has been very quiet this session. Is it the glasses?
I've been talking a fair amount. I feel.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I talked a fair amount to the alchemist man. Talked to the cyborg guy. And then with Fancy Frenchman, who's like jerking off a town I hate, but also simultaneously kind of hating on it, I'm like, I don't really know where to go with this. Because if I shit on it, he might get mad at me, but
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't praise it, so I guess I'll just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
Very fair. We were just wondering whether we still would be required by Romaniel to do it, or we've basically been promoted out of doing the...
Well, our
right?
bounty is paid, and that's why we did it in the first place.
We had a contract with Ammo, I thought.
You had a contract with Emma. So you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to do the arrow thing.
Damn it.
But
Oh,
but you can. It's just a matter of right now. Harrow is being used to help foster entertainment with the people and stuff like that. Like you guys can go and like you can go and talk to them about it, but that's something that you guys can discuss with Romaniel, right? And you guys can do the gladiator stuff to earn money and to give people the bread and circuses that they need. So there's several different things that you guys can do. I mentioned the aberrant subject, so you can try to investigate the black spot. You can go talk to Vivigeni, see what's going on with him and his stuff, because they flooded the ways, and he's been dealing with the sickness and now this Grimnod shit. You can go to Agatas and try to get help from the dwarves. You can go to the Royal Spire and try to get secreted away information and open up basically like a base of operations with the Cerebrum Sierra. You can go and try to broker relationships with the woodland tribes. So there's obviously a lot of people who've been displaced. And there's rumors of some warband savaging the local villages as well. Which is a little bit more like Bull. That would be something that you'd be kind of perk your ears to, so to speak. And then the last thing that you can pick from, there's also the Bill Chester's food spoil that I mentioned earlier. And then lastly is the Lamore gratitude montage mechanic. So what that is that you guys can take at 5 days a stint, you can assist in the city's recovery in different ways. You can each choose to go into the town and try to help out and work for folks and build a rapport with any of the core cities. Any of the core corporations, or any of the small businesses like Bitterroot's business, or you can go and work for the Scraped Scraps, which is the place that you guys got like dynamite and rope and stuff like that from. You guys can go work with those people, and what will happen is that you will do a relevant check, like if you're going to go try to use alchemy to help people in Bitterroot's business, your check will symbolize how much you help recover the city, but it'll also help you build a rapport with Both was his name. Or you can try to build rapport with Foulheed or Chettleport. And what will happen is that there's certain points that you can get to. So every success grants you 10 silver worth of gratitude. Long story short is that you can spend gratitude like money for stuff, or you can get to certain levels of gratitude. For instance, if you get to 20 gratitude, you'll get a favor. If you get to 50, you can get secret information. And if you get to 100, you can get a special favor, like help with Cinder. So the idea is that Grimnod is not going to be dealt with in a long time, for a while. But Friendly wants you to help around town, do your research, gear up, get some experience, i.e. level up, so that way you are able to deal with Grimnod, right? Make allies, that sort of thing. The stuff with Cinder, as you guys know, you will probably need more information, need some more help in order to be able to finish that up too. So these are all, like, that's what I'm trying to give you guys the scale of time here on some of this stuff. So you got a bunch of specific quests you can do. Otherwise, you can just, like, help out around town, depending on whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Hannah
Hannah just
I
got
want to
here.
fight.
I don't want to do the gladiator stuff yet. But I suppose this could be something to think about for the next session.
Yeah.
I will need to know so I can prepare.
Can you
But-
send it in a text, like all the options or whatever?
Yeah, I can send you guys some options, and you guys we can text about it. Just at
Okay.
least that if I have like a week or so.
Because I want more time to digest all of the things that you just rambled out too.
Absolutely.
I want to fight.
You
want
can go
to fight.
fight. You can go fight.
Ilya doesn't want to go fight, which is fine.
We can
there's,
split up.
There's single slots for that stuff too. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys again in 2 weeks. And happy birthdays, guys!
Thanks.
Jesus.
Have a good night.